Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to another Coffee with Joy. I'm your host. Today, I'm so excited as I talk to my guest, Coach G, as we're talking about creating the stronger you. Not only mentally, but of course, physically and emotionally. He's going to walk us through how he started his own business in the gym, and he's going to tell a little bit about himself. And hopefully, you all could join in if you are within the DMV area, or hopefully virtual, that you could get yourself together. Because of course, we only in the new year just a month, so it's still time to get yourself together. So after this message, we're definitely going to get started and get right into our awesome conversation with Coach G.
Our mission focuses on showcasing local and global talent of all ages on and off the field. We will strive to inspire, educate, and bridge the divides through our media collaboration. Our goal is to give student athletes and coaches the platform to let their talents be seen and a platform for the community to let their voices be heard. This is the Union Media Group.
Welcome back to Coffee with Joy. So I'm gonna have my guest, Coach G, come on. He's gonna tell us a little bit about himself, and then we're gonna jump right into creating the stronger you.
What's up, Joy? How are you?
Okay. Good. How you doing, Coach G? So good to have you on the show. Yes,
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
yes. Can you tell people a little bit about yourself and what do you do? Then we're gonna jump right into our topic today.
Yeah, I'm Coach G. I guess, better known for being the founder of Sweat DC. Sweat DC is DC's first inclusive, fun, challenging fitness studio. So we're all about creating that fun experience for people through the fitness experience. We focus on strength and conditioning, but really big on building community and just providing a space where people can be themselves, come as they are, and not feel judged, and just have a good time while they get in better shape and hopefully meet a friend or two.
Now, as you started this whole, Sweat DC, how did this come about? Because again, as people are working out and they said, "Hey, I want to do this, I want to help this." How did this whole establishment came about with Coach G?
We gotta go way back.
Yes, take us there.
So I guess we'll start. I'm a Baltimore boy, so I call Baltimore the Diamond of America. Some people don't
Uh-huh.
agree with that. I like to say that. So Baltimore is a blue collar town, and it's really like a small city, but it's also known as Charm City. So I think we are a city where people, for the most part, are pretty friendly and engaging, and I think that kind of rubbed off on how I do anything. But my background, I grew up overweight kid. I always tell everyone I grew up a overweight gay black boy in West
Uh-huh.
Baltimore. So a lot of times when I think about my life, I think about I know what it feels like to not feel included. I know what it feels like to not feel confident in my skin. And it took a lot for me to get to that other side, and I constantly moved through that. So it's passion for me to help other people find their confidence and uh, feel like the amazing person that they were meant to be. Um, I think a big catalyst in my life, when I was 18, my mom passed away from congestive heart failure. And that
Okay.
was something that really allowed me a moment to step back, and made me grow up a lot quicker
Hmm.
and understand that
Right,
life
right.
is short. and life is one of those things that if you're gonna do something, then you need to do it now. So
Right.
that is one reason why I'm just kind of I move quickly when I want to get
Uh-huh.
something done, and I try to make sure that people understand that life is precious and they should take every moment as a beautiful experience.
I totally agree. Now, as you starting to build, like, how did you incorporate people to come and join, Sweat DC? As you know, of course, I love my size, plus size women, plus size men, many people, and I'm not just saying plus size, but a lot of people don't find fitness as a hierarchy. How did you, and how are you incorporating people to, to capsize on staying healthy, but in a fun way? What are your techniques, and so what are some ways that you're doing that?
Yeah, I think we got to be real about fitness. Like,
Mm-hmm.
most people don't want to work out, including
Correct.
myself. Like, I'm a fitness
Yeah,
person, but
yeah,
no one, you don't wake up and say, you know what, I just want to go to the gym and do this thing that might be tough, it might make me sweat, and yada yada yada, when I could
yeah,
just be laying in bed or just hanging out with my friends. So I I think that helped me just understand that I think the workout is very important, but it's at the bottom of the list of what we really focus on, right? We're really focused on community, really focused
yeah.
on making it a fun vibe. Like, if you walk in the Sweat DC, it looks like a club. The lights are
Yeah.
low. We got lights flashing. The music's gotta be dope. Like, a lot of places you go and they press some old record player in the back. No, like, we make curated playlists. Like, it's a total experience, and I know that, like, when people are connected through a total experience, then
Yeah.
they will buy into it. And I also know that people in general are community based, so you have to create a community vibe, and that involves uh, we throw parties at our gym, we go on
Right.
trips with each other, we are really big on, like, meeting the person beside you and not just, like, making it
Yeah.
this isolated experience. So how can we support people and really make it a total 360 experience? That's really important to us.
So I know when you and I spoke, and and I sent you the message about what the title, you was like, no, Joy, it's okay. We could change the title. I said, sure. And we changed the title to, creating a stronger you. Now, can you develop what is creating a stronger you? Even one may know or think, but from Coach G perspective, what is creating the stronger you?
Yeah, I love this type of stuff. Like, I'm big on motivation, I'm big on personal
Yeah.
development, and that our external expressions of ourselves really is, like, just connected to the inside. And if we're gonna talk about physical fitness, we really got to talk about emotional fitness and mental
Yeah.
health and all of that stuff, and self-esteem. And I get it, as a person who didn't grow up feeling the most confident in myself, even through my 20s. I didn't even come out the closet, so I was really, like, in my late 20s. So, like, I
Right.
didn't feel my 100% showing up as my authentic self was enough. And as I slowly started to peel off these layers, I learned that the world and the universe and God kept rewarding me. So
Hmm.
I really just think that creating the strongest version of yourself is waking up uh, 100% authentic, not
Yeah.
feeling like you have to
Yeah.
put on a mask for anybody, not feeling like you gotta put on a show or talk a certain way or
Right.
look a certain way or be a certain way, but understanding that,
Right.
like, I love who I am, I love how I look, I love how I feel, I'm grateful for how I am, and
Hmm.
learning how to take each step one day at a time to really show the world and share with the world the beauty that is you.
Awesome. So you stated that, Sweat DC is definitely a place where it's like a club. Like, how did you come about having that idea of, having the rainbow lights, having the lights down, having it more set the tone of a club? What made you come up with that idea? Because, and of course, looking at, I've never been to Sweat DC. Hopefully, I would definitely love to attend. You will see that, hey, you could tell, okay, the vibe is there. You could definitely tell that, okay, it's something going on. But what's behind the movement of with the lights in the club? Did you just come out, or did you just say, you know what, I just want to give a whole different viewpoint to this atmosphere?
Yeah. I think at my heart, I'm a creative. I went to
Uh-huh.
art school for middle school. I studied theater in high school. So like the way I see the world a lot of times is not how the regular person who is like very systematic does. I'm one of those people
Yeah.
that really colors outside the lines, and if you give me a rule, I'm gonna break the
Right.
rule. So my main thought was I wanted to bring more people to the fitness realm, and I wanted to bring more people who aren't always a part of it. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
where do people like to go? Where do I like to go? I
Yeah.
like to go to the
Right.
club. So
Yeah,
let's make it
yeah,
look like a
yeah.
club. Let's make it be a club. Um, the other side of that was also very strategic is that the gym can be very intimidating, and bright lights on people in a space that is intimidating shines
Mm.
more light on their insecurities. And I thought that if we create a space where it's a little dimmer, where people like don't feel like people are looking at them, then they would feel a little
Right,
bit more
right.
accepted and be able to just kind of like, hey, I'm just in my own zone doing my own thing.
Awesome. I mean, I like how you touched on the point with the bright lights. Even though I know I probably don't care, but definitely as the masses, some people I don't care. Hey, I'm just gonna work out. I'm here. I know that I am working on a better me. So I can't worry about your you know, viewpoint on me because I'm here to work on me. If I don't come here, how I'm going to work on me, right? But
Right.
definitely lowering the lights and definitely keeping the focal point, the viewpoint. And I noticed that, as you creating a community, how do you go about, like, if somebody were to come to Sweat DC, right, and they don't see the average or the typical gym light, how do you bring them into the community? How do you make them feel comfortable and being part of the community? Because I think it's great where you're able to take people at different levels to make them feel wanted, because definitely the emotion, a lot of gyms don't attach the emotion, they just do the physical and not include the individual as part as the journey. So how are you able to bring this person or people into a community as you did, like in this like in the comfort circle that you all did? What do you do to make people feel comfortable in that realm?
Well, there's a lot of things we do,
Mm-hmm.
but I think at its root, it's really just the culture of Sweat DC is this is home. Like one of our
Yeah,
taglines,
yeah,
welcome home. Like literally how people go to Chick-fil-A and they say my pleasure. When you walk into Sweat
yeah,
DC, our front says welcome home. And people aren't
yeah.
used to that, right? We have other rules. When you
They're
walk in the
not.
room, this is just like some, things I learned being black and coming into my grandmother's house is like when you walk into a space, you speak.
Right,
It's just little
right.
stuff. Like you walk into a room, you don't just put your head down. You speak. We speak to each other. So you'd be surprised like how much small actions like that matter. I
Mm,
think also allowing people and kind of like what you talked about, like you're more developed on your confidence level, but like a lot of people walk into spaces and are very nervous that they're gonna do something wrong, that they're not gonna fit
right.
in, that they have insecurities. And some things I tell people, I was like, I don't care what you do. I don't care if you lose a pound. I don't care if you get a muscle. I don't care what. I just want you to have a good time. I just want you to feel better after these
Right,
45 minutes.
right.
And when you say that, it allows people just to go, oh,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
be okay. And I think
yeah.
it starts with that action, and then I'm lucky to have an amazing team of some of the best coaches in the city, but more importantly the
Right.
best people. More importantly, we hire the best people in the world, because I think sometimes people hire people off of their skill set. I think you can teach a skill, but we have great people, and I think that has really taken us to a different level.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think uh, letting people know that it's okay, like where they are, and we'll just help them go where they're trying to go.
I think that's phenomenal because I think a lot of people, when they, especially now that we're so social media driven, a lot of people look at people working out and they, try to study their technique. And looking at the technique, it's hard. I'm gonna say it's hard to get there. You got to start, right? Even to get there. And some people may feel like, oh wow, okay, if I'm not doing this technique right, will I ever lose weight or will I ever gain that muscle? Because the technique, I have yet to gain the technique, because all of that take breathing exercise, it's take the consistency, the muscle have to get in line, the brain have to work with the muscle. So your body have to get in alignment to even get there. So definitely setting that tone as you walk in, just, it's almost like going to Carolina Kitchen. They say, welcome, 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 and it's like, you look back and like, what? Okay, hi, how you doing? But it does give you a sense of like, oh, okay, I do feel welcome here. I do feel elated here. Now the type of music. Now you say that you all have the little dances. What kind of dance do you all do? What do you do cycling or it's just an open space? Because granted, I never been. Hopefully, I would love to go because I want to check out Sweat DC.
Yeah. So we specialize in strength and conditioning. So it's not dancing.
Mhm.
When you come in, you are gonna lift a weight. You are gonna do a push up. Like you gonna sweat. We're gonna sweat the hair out. So,
Right.
but we do know that music moves people, and having
Yeah.
music that correlates with certain parts of the class really matters, and having a lot of diversity in your team, so that the person who plays one type of music maybe you like, the person who plays different type of music maybe someone else likes. So I think it also allows your coaches to put a little bit of their creativity into it and make everything feel authentic.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I think like we have, one of my coaches I can really think of is Latin, and he plays a lot of
Uh-huh.
Latin music, and people love coming to his
Mm-hmm.
class to hear. I learned a lot about that, a lot of the music that he plays. So I think it's just great people can get to show their culture and show their creativity and who they are through their music and their presence.
That's phenomenal. Now, earlier you was having your meal. Now, do you set up any meal plan with? Do you set up any meal plan for your for each of your guests, or do you all offer that, or do you talk about that within your community? Because I think a lot of people, and against a lot of people is not a number, but we're just gonna say a lot of people. I don't know the statistics, but I know it's out there where a lot of people really don't know that is what you eat that really helps keep to shape in your body, gain your muscles. Now, how do you help someone along that way who have great working out skills but have poor eating habits? How do you
Yeah.
help them in that realm?
So we help a little bit. We do have a scanner that we use as like a body composition scanner, and that within that scanner it gives out what's called macros. So it gives you kind of a breakdown based on your goals, how many calories you should be eating, how much protein, how much carbohydrate. I'm laughing because my dog is going crazy and trying to be in the mood.
Don't worry.
Um, so you might see his head pop up, but
Oh, no worries.
um, yeah, but that helps people kind of break down that way. But I really don't focus on the food too much with it. I think everything's
Gotcha.
step by step. And if you want a nutritionist, you can get a nutritionist. I'm not a specialist in nutrition. I can give you some good advice for it. But
Okay.
sometimes I think people try to do too much too fast. And the big
Yeah.
thing is like this is a marathon, not a sprint. So like
Yeah.
let's just focus on like creating a space where you can show up and feel good and like showing up. And can you do that
Yeah.
3 days a week? Let's just start there
Mhm.
and then do that for a year. Like I want to create habits for people so that in
Yeah.
10 years they've created this habit that is a part of them, and they learn and they feel confident no matter what gym they're at.
I totally agree because I mean, I definitely my main thing is just going out, just going to work out, right? And then building a habit and then making sure I eat because again, I got to make sure that everything's in a line because without that, I won't be able to work out because I have to make sure that I stay consistent working out and trying to, because it's just me. And I know you probably seen on social media where should I go, shouldn't I go when the person's laying in the bed. Sometimes I do feel like that, but I still push forward. Even though it's
Me
only been a
too.
week, I would never ever
All the
guess
time.
because I mean, as you and you stated that no one feels great working out, but I feel like there's some guru who looks forward to like what, uh, I'm just gonna go like work out twice in one day. Like some people look forward to that, and I guess that's just my illusion for what I see. But I feel like some people just really get hype about that, which is great because you only got one temple and you really have to take care of it. But I don't want to over drill and kill the body. Now, if somebody were like, if what's you said the machine that you guys use? What was that you all use to determine
So the
like the how many?
Evolt 360, it does body composition. So it's gonna
Okay,
tell us like what's your muscle breakdown, what's your fat breakdown. It's gonna tell me about your metabolic rate, how much calories you should eat based on your goals. It
okay,
even talks. It gives a lot of data. I mean, it also talks about like any imbalances in your body and stuff like that. How much water you're
mm,
drinking. So just kind of gives people a different way to look at it. But I'm also very
right,
cognizant that that's not for everyone, right? Like
yeah,
scales in general aren't always like the best way to see how your progress is. And I want people to
yeah,
progress or to judge themselves based off of consistency. Are you showing up? How
yeah,
hard are you working? How heavy are you lifting? Are you getting stronger? Do you feel better? Like, do you wake up? Are you sleeping? Like just some simple stuff.
right.
Like I think sometimes we make this thing too complicated, and
We
because it's
do,
so complicated, a lot of people aren't getting what they need for their health.
yeah. And I think too, people have to, just get over that hump. Cause like for the first, as everyone had this big New Year's resolution. I don't do those anymore. I do habits, right? Because after a while, that resolution is going to be broken down. But I want to build a habit where that's consistent for me, that it helps not only me, but my whole being, right? And making sure that I'm able to give to myself, because if I don't pour into me, then who will, right? So
Right.
the bottom line is that just constantly and listening to you, I'm like in my head, okay, we got to, what we're doing is right. What we're doing is pushing forward. Now, do you pair anybody up with, like you say, you have coaches? Do you pair anybody up who may be lacking, who may just come once, but they have the heart, but they just cannot be pushed for some reason, but they really want to, but again, I'm just asleep for 10 more minutes and 10 minutes turns into an hour and I miss my workout.
Yeah. I'm pretty. I mean, we don't pair people up per se because like
Okay.
you have partners in class, but it doesn't really affect you too much. It's more like just the person beside you to encourage you. It's not like
Yeah.
your workouts based off of theirs, not like that. Um, But when it comes to all the other stuff, I'm pretty straightforward with people. Like I try to
Okay.
take out the emotion that people have with not showing up. If you don't want to show
Okay.
up, then don't show up.
Yeah.
Okay. But
Yeah.
don't lie to me and don't lie to yourself. Right? Like
Yeah.
if 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 your health and working out or eating correctly or getting sleep or honoring your body or meditating for your mind or seeing a therapist or going to your doctor, if that's not important to you, then
Yeah.
just own it and say that's not a priority to me right now. But I think a lot of times people have a passive way of living where they like to say, "Oh, I don't have enough income to do this. Oh, I don't have enough time.
Yeah.
Oh, but you always have time to go to the movies, DoorDash, go on
Right.
vacation, your shoes, your Gucci's. You got a
Yeah.
real nice car. So like, I say that where you spend your time will show me your priorities.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if your time is out to eat, your time is with
Ye-
your friends, your time is with your family, your time is whatever, then that's your priority. And there's nothing
Right.
wrong with that. But don't disconnect where your priorities with being a victim. Like, nope,
Yeah. Yeah.
you chose it. So just
Yeah.
like I don't particularly make a lot of time on my own to work out as I become higher up as a business owner because I really
Right.
am kind of a workaholic. So
Hmm.
I hired a personal trainer. I have a personal trainer 4 times a week. And it's not because I
Uh-huh.
don't know what to do, but I need the accountability. So I had to raise that accountability up in my life. And that means I got to pay somebody 4 times a week to just
Right.
basically for an appointment and to tell me what to do so I don't have to think.
Wow. Now, have you?
Eh,
I know I want to believe that life is peachy and cream, right? We all walk in a straight line. But have you ever had an irate individual who was just so combative, rather telling you how to run something, or like you stated, don't lie to me. We all like to say that something is grand and great, but we all, all of us have this one story that really sets us apart of why we want to do things, right? Why are we pushing through? Have you ever had that one guest who just says, nah, whoever were like irate towards you or towards the program?
No, I think I've never had anyone irate. I think we have people who aren't ready for the commitment.
Mm-hmm.
And and sometimes they don't want to hear me tell them that. And
Right.
if they get mad or sad from me saying it, it's more how they feel about themselves and how they're treating themselves. And I just know you eventually will come back or find, if it's not with me, with someone, like, because I've seen it numerous times where something's not important to someone, and then the doctor says, you have high blood pressure, your sugar's up,
Yeah.
your this, then all of a sudden it becomes really important because they think they're gonna be sick or ill, and then they
Yeah.
find time, find money, they do whatever, right? Like, so I don't, I just think people are gonna make the decisions when they need to make the decisions. My job, I think, and in my space is to make it as comfortable for the people who are ready. And I'm
Right.
not looking for those people. If you're
Yeah.
if you're wish-washy, I will be like, oh, this isn't the place for you, and I'll
Mm.
leave. But my time is for those who really need guidance, really are looking for assistance, and really want someone who cares about them getting to the next step in their physical fitness and mental fitness and emotional fitness journey, because it is all connected and we can't address one without the other.
Correct. Definitely. Now, I'm not for sure, but are you in a relationship? And if so, do you and your partner work out? And do you all have this synergy where you all making sure that stay fit together?
We trying. So yeah, my boyfriend is a cycle instructor, but he
Uh-huh.
wasn't when I met him. But he is interested in fitness. I do think not necessarily like you being an instructor is important to me, but I do think like
Hmm.
having some type of base in physical activity being part of your regular life is important to me,
Yeah.
because I think it shows that you like to spend time to work on yourself. Like
Right.
I'm a big personal development junkie. I want to be the
Yes.
best version of me that I can be. And when they put me in the box, I want them to say, "Oh, he did a lot. He came out.
Yeah.
He knows what he needs to know, right?" So
Right.
we're always evolving. But yeah, but if anything, we eat more cookies together than work out together. Like,
Now, do you find that to be more of, if couples, they have, do you think they should work out together? Or I mean, not work out together, but exercise to really develop one another? Because I think, okay, let me not put my opinion in it. Let me hear from you. Do you think it's very important that couples work out, not so much together, but have that lifestyle that, that they're building together? Do you think it's important or not?
I think it's important that everybody is physically active,
Mm-hmm.
and I think some couples can do it together and some can't. I've trained some couples together
Mm-hmm.
that worked. I've trained some where I said I had one couple where I fired them
Uh-huh.
because sessions were the sessions were out of control, and
Wow.
one, it's funny because they end up getting a divorce like in under a year later. But
Mm-hmm.
the thing about
Wow.
training is like, how do you make it about it's for yourself, right? It's your
Yeah.
self-care. So like if I'm in a workout and one person is trying to dominate who gets the most out of it, or another person feels like it's dumbing down, or they don't
Mm.
just feel like you're able to like navigate both, it doesn't really work out. So
Mm.
I guess to answer your question, I don't think that you have to work out together. I think the most important thing about your workouts or your movement, I don't even like to say workouts, because you can be very active and have nothing. You could go for walks and go hiking. You can do all types of stuff and not
Right.
go to a gym per se. But I think it's really important that people make that time for themselves, and most
Right.
importantly, to focus on how they feel mentally and emotionally. That's it, mentally and emotionally. The physical stuff is a byproduct of you treating
Yeah.
your mind, body right, your mind and your
And
emotions
the
right.
reason, and I guess the reason why I ask, because as a guru, if a wife is working out and her girlfriend or her husband is not working out, I think that would definitely cause some type of, I believe will cause a mix, a fuse. Because if one
Yeah.
person is working on trying to better themselves, not only internally but externally, the other one is really not. I don't know. I guess that's just my opinion, because again, you can have
Well,
two
I
skinny
agree.
people.
No, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I've trained. I mean, majority of my clients over my career have been women, and what I have seen, this is just my experience. Don't counsel me, y'all. But I've seen that women be working way harder at trying to be a better version of themselves than their husbands, and it was really
Yay!
frustrating. No, it's really frustrating to see like your wife is out here busting her ass, like, and the people I train, like, these are powerful women who like work in stressful jobs. They are finding time to work out and try to better themselves. They're trying to eat healthy. They're moms. They're doing a lot, and it's not
Yeah.
easy. And then they come home to these slob men who are just like sitting at home and bringing muffins and bringing stuff that's going to be detrimental to this woman who is trying to be the best version of herself. So
Right.
it used to frustrate me, and I do think that maybe a easier way to say this is that you are who you keep your time around. So
Yeah.
your partner isn't leveling themselves up, then you are just going to be leveling yourself down.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Because see, I always wonder about that. And of course, talking to a guru, definitely just like since I know you're in the venue where you get to see that more often. And I know that becomes like, a give or take or a negative, a positive, or any situation of that nature. So, Coach G, this has been a great conversation. Where can people find Sweat DC? And
So
is there more than one facility?
one facility right now, but we're going to toss
Mhm.
it up to God and say by the end of this year it will be more than one. We are right on Georgia Avenue, probably about 5 blocks north of Howard University.
Okay.
We are Black owned and operated, so we appreciate that support as we kick off Black History Month. And you can find,
Yay.
yeah, on Instagram at Sweat DC, or my Instagram at Coach G Fitness. We have an intro 1 week pass for $29, so you can come in and just check it out, see if you like it. And we love everyone, and just always want to make sure people know, like, you don't have to be a certain size, you don't have to be a certain level. We are here to coach you and help you. So we love when people come in and say, "Hey, I've never lifted a weight before." I'm like, "Well, come on home. Like, I got you."
Right. Right. Phenomenal. Now, Coach G, is there anything that you would like to leave with the people, like any affirmation or inspiration, anything that they could stick with themselves as they start to take on this journey of creating a stronger them and making sure that they take care of themselves, not only internally, but externally?
Hmm. I think I just want people to know that, like, you're stronger than you think you are,
Mhm.
and so whatever level you're at, even if you're at the top, you're at the bottom, if you're comparing yourself to the old you, or you're like, I don't know how I let myself get this way, I think the first step you have to do is forgive yourself and say, you know what, I did the best I could, yada yada, and then start to move forward. And once you start to move forward and allow yourself to just go through the process, you will see just how strong you are. So I always try to tell people, yo, you're stronger than you think you are at every moment of your life. And life be lifing. So expect the waves to go
Yeah.
up, and but you're stronger than you think you are. And it's also never it's never shameful to ask for help. And
Yeah. Yeah.
I talk about that a lot because I get so many people ask me, like, well, why do you have a trainer? I have people like shade
Yeah.
me, like, why you got a trainer? You a trainer? You got a trainer? And I'm like,
Wow.
I needed help. I gained 30 pounds
Yeah.
from when I was a trainer to when became a business owner, because a lot of my life became sedentary. I had a lot of stress. I was eating up. I needed help. And
Yeah,
instead of people
yeah.
encouraging me saying, I really commend how you knew you needed help and went out and got some help. A lot of people talk negatively to me about it. So I try to always encourage people that there is no shame in asking for help. And in fact, the shame is sitting at home and not getting the help you need.
Right, right. No, that's facts, definitely. So I would just want to say publicly, privately, Coach G, thank you so much for being a guest on the Coffee with Joy show. Yay.
Yay.
Definitely, if you if you guys are looking to creating a better you, please do check out Sweat DC. Coach G will definitely take you in. He creates an awesome atmosphere, and I can't wait to join. I can't wait to go out and see what Sweat DC. Hopefully, we'll do a recording, so we'll definitely come back and do a part 2 to this. But make sure you like, subscribe, and definitely comment below. Let us know what you thought of today, as well as if you would like to donate to Coffee with Joy show, because it definitely takes money to run a show. So check out my PayPal, check below. Definitely love to have your support. But if not, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for viewing. As you always know, if it's Wednesday, it is Coffee with Joy. Until then, live life on purpose. You guys have a blessed night. Thank you, Coach G. And again and again and again. Thank you all. Have a good night. Bye, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.